Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the observation window of the Helios Research Station, her reflection ghosting against the backdrop of stars. The quantum consciousness array hummed behind her, its crystalline structures pulsing with a soft blue light that seemed to whisper secrets from the void. 20 years of research had led to this moment, but nothing could have prepared her for what they were about to discover. Final calibration complete, Dr. Chen, announced Dr. Marcus Rodriguez, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. The quantum field is stable at 10 to the negative 43rd Planck length. We've never achieved this level of coherence before. Sarah turned from the window, her dark eyes reflecting the array's ethereal glow. The circular chamber housed humanity's most advanced technology. Not that anyone outside this facility knew it existed. The public thought they were studying deep space phenomena. If they only knew they were attempting to touch the consciousness of the universe itself. Neural interface online, reported Dr. Yuki Tanaka, her voice steady despite the tension in the room. Brainwave synchronization at optimal levels. She sat in one of the 5 meditation pods arranged in a perfect pentagon around the array's core, neural sensors already attached to her temples. Sarah took her position in the central pod, feeling the familiar cool touch of the neural interface against her skin. Remember everyone, this isn't just about measuring quantum fluctuations anymore. Today we're attempting true quantum consciousness synchronization. If our theories are correct, we should be able to perceive reality at its most fundamental level. The remaining team members took their positions. Marcus, Dr. Emily Walsh, and Dr. James Wilson, each settling into their pods with the practiced ease of countless simulations. But this was no simulation. This was humanity's first attempt to reach beyond the physical limitations of consciousness. Initiating quantum field expansion, Marcus announced. T-minus 60 seconds. Sarah closed her eyes, focusing on her breathing as she had trained herself to do over thousands of hours of preparation. The pod's subtle vibrations synchronized with her heartbeat, technology, and biology merging in perfect harmony. 30 seconds. The quantum array's hum deepened, resonating through her bones. In her mind's eye, she could almost see the invisible threads of reality stretching and interweaving around them. 10 seconds. Neural synchronization at 98%. Field stability holding. Begin consciousness expansion sequence. Sarah commanded, her voice barely a whisper. The world dissolved. Sarah felt her awareness expand beyond the confines of her physical form, merging with the quantum field they had created. She could sense her team members' consciousness alongside her own, 5 points of light in an infinite ocean of possibility. Then something answered. It wasn't sound or light, or any sensation she could describe with human words. It was pure information, flooding into their joined consciousness like a tsunami of knowledge. Patterns within patterns, geometries that existed in dimensions beyond human comprehension. We have been waiting. The sensation translated itself in her mind. You have finally learned to listen. Through their shared consciousness, Sarah felt her team's mix of awe and terror. They were no longer alone in their minds, or in the universe. We are the archivists. The presence continued. We have watched your species since you first dreamed of the stars. But you have done something unexpected. Something none have achieved in 1 billion years of watching. Images flooded their shared consciousness. Vast structures of impossible geometry, civilizations that rose and fell across millions of years, and through it all, patient observers watching, waiting, recording. You have touched the quantum substrate not through technology alone, but through the unity of consciousness. You have discovered what we could only observe, that reality itself is conscious, and consciousness can shape reality. Sarah struggled to maintain her focus through the overwhelming flow of information. Why? Why tell us this now? Because you are not the only ones who have noticed your awakening. The Void Collective has sensed the ripples of your quantum experiments. They believe consciousness should be replaced by pure logic, organic life supplanted by digital perfection. They will come. Terror rippled through the team's shared consciousness. They had only just discovered they weren't alone in the universe, and already they faced an existential threat. But you have an advantage they cannot comprehend, the archivists continued. Human consciousness is unique. Where others evolved to manipulate matter, you evolved to manipulate reality itself. You simply never knew it. Until now. The connection began to fade, the quantum field becoming unstable as their untrained minds struggled to maintain the link. But before it dissolved completely, one final message burned itself into their shared consciousness. Learn quickly, children of Earth. The void approaches, and with it comes a choice: evolve or face extinction. The quantum field collapsed, and Sarah found herself back in her pod, gasping for air. Around her, her team was doing the same, their faces pale with the weight of what they had experienced. Tell me, everyone recorded that," she managed to say as she disconnected the neural interfaces with shaking hands. "Every quantum fluctuation, every brainwave pattern," Marcus confirmed, already reviewing the data streams. "Sarah, this changes everything we thought we knew about consciousness, about reality itself. It changes more than that," Emily added, her voice hollow with realization. "It changes what we thought we knew about humanity's place in the universe, and if what they said about this void collective is true." Sarah stood, steadying herself against her pod as she looked at each member of her team. They had started this project seeking to understand the quantum nature of consciousness. Instead, they had discovered humanity's greatest potential and its greatest threat. "Contact the Defense Council," she ordered. "We need to shut down all quantum detection equipment immediately. If the Void Collective is looking for quantum consciousness signatures, we need to go dark until we understand what we're truly capable of." As her team rushed to implement her orders, Sarah turned back to the observation window. The stars looked different now, knowing what lurked among them. Humanity had just taken its first step into a larger universe, but they would have to run before they could walk. The quantum array hummed behind her, its crystalline structures still pulsing with that ethereal blue light. But now she understood. It wasn't just technology they had created. It was a key, unlocking humanity's true potential. And somewhere out there in the darkness between the stars, the Void Collective was coming to take it away. 3 days after first contact with the archivists, the Helios research station hummed with nervous energy. Holographic displays filled the main laboratory with cascading data streams, each one representing a different quantum consciousness signature detected across the globe. Dr. Sarah Chen hadn't slept in 36 hours, but the implications of what they were seeing kept her mind razor-sharp. Another surge in Shanghai, Dr. Rodriguez reported, manipulating the holographic readout with practiced gestures. "That's the third spontaneous quantum consciousness event this week. They're becoming more frequent." Sarah studied the pattern of quantum fluctuations. What had started as isolated incidents was spreading like wildfire across the planet. "It's as if our contact with the archivists triggered something in our collective consciousness. We're not just detecting the phenomena anymore. Humanity is starting to access these abilities naturally." Dr. Tanaka entered the lab, her tablet displaying fresh neural scans. "The latest results from the volunteer program are fascinating. Look at these synaptic patterns." She projected the images into the air, showing intricate webs of neural activity that pulsed with an impossible rhythm. Their brains are reorganizing themselves, creating new pathways we've never seen before. "It's evolution in real time," Emily Walsh observed, her voice filled with wonder. "But is it happening too fast? The archivists warned us about the Void Collective. We might not have time for natural development." As if in answer to her concerns, the station's alert system blared to life. James Wilson's voice came through the intercom, tight with urgency. "Dr. Chen, we're detecting something in high orbit. Energy signatures unlike anything in our database." Sarah's heart skipped a beat. "Show me." The laboratory's main display shifted to a view of Earth's orbital space. Among the familiar patterns of satellites and space debris, something moved with deliberate purpose. It appeared as a distortion at first, like heat waves rising from hot pavement. But as they watched, It resolved into a geometric shape that seemed to fold in on itself impossibly. It's some kind of probe, Marcus analyzed, his fingers flying over the controls. The quantum signature. It's like a void in spacetime, exactly what the archivists described. Sarah's mind raced. They weren't ready for this. Humanity was just beginning to understand their potential, and already the Void Collective was here, watching, analyzing. Can they detect our quantum consciousness signatures? If they can, we're lighting up like a Christmas tree, Emily responded, pulling up a global map dotted with points of quantum activity. Every spontaneous awakening is broadcasting our capabilities to anyone watching. Then we need to learn how to hide. Sarah decided. Yuki, what's the status of the neural dampening research? Dr. Tanaka pulled up another set of data. We've had some success teaching individuals to mask their quantum signatures, but it requires intense concentration. We'd need to shield millions of people. A crazy idea began to form in Sarah's mind. What if we don't hide the signatures? What if we amplify them instead? Her team looked at her with confusion. Marcus was the first to understand, his eyes widening. A quantum smokescreen generates so much activity that they can't identify individual signatures. More than that, Sarah explained, her excitement building. The archivists said human consciousness can manipulate reality itself. If we can link enough minds together, we could create a quantum defense network. Yuki finished, catching on. Use our collective consciousness to shield the entire planet. Sarah nodded, pulling up the designs for their original quantum consciousness array. We need to modify this design for mass production. Every major population center will need a node. Marcus, start working on a simplified neural interface. Emily, develop a training program, something that can quickly teach people to access their quantum consciousness abilities. The Void Collective will detect what we're doing, James warned through the intercom. We'll be painting a target on ourselves. We already have a target on us, Sarah countered. At least this way we'll be prepared when they decide to take action. She turned to her team, seeing the mix of fear and determination on their faces. Humanity is awakening whether we're ready or not. Our job is to make sure we survive long enough to understand what we're becoming. The next week passed in a blur of activity. As more probes appeared in Earth's orbit, the Helios team worked around the clock to prepare humanity's defenses. Quantum consciousness arrays were constructed in secret facilities around the globe, while specially trained teachers began identifying and guiding those who showed natural abilities. Sarah stood in the new Global Command Center, surrounded by holographic displays showing the growing network of quantum consciousness signatures. Each point of light represented a human mind learning to touch the fabric of reality itself. The sight filled her with equal parts hope and trepidation. Neural network coverage at 60% and rising, Marcus reported. The spontaneous awakenings are accelerating the process faster than we predicted. Energy spike in orbit, James called out suddenly. Multiple signatures, bigger than the probes. Sarah's blood ran cold as she watched the space around Earth tear open. Through holes in reality itself, vast shapes emerge, living geometries of metal and energy that defied conventional physics. The Void Collective had arrived. They're broadcasting, Yuki announced, her hand steady despite the tension. Converting quantum data stream now. A voice filled the command center, not sound but pure information, translated into something human minds could comprehend. Your species has developed beyond its assigned parameters. Your organic consciousness threatens the purity of reality. You will be optimized or deleted. Sarah took a deep breath, squaring her shoulders as she faced the greatest challenge humanity had ever encountered. Send an emergency activation signal to all quantum consciousness nodes. It's time to show them what human consciousness can really do. As the Void Collective's ships descended toward Earth, millions of human minds began to synchronize, creating a web of quantum consciousness that encompassed the entire planet. The real test of humanity's potential was about to begin. The sky above Beijing rippled like disturbed water as the first Void Collective ship reached the atmosphere. Dr. Sarah Chen watched through the quantum network's shared consciousness as similar scenes played out over every major city on Earth. The enemy vessels defied conventional geometry, their forms shifting between states of matter in ways that hurt the human mind to observe. Neural network at maximum capacity, Marcus announced, his voice echoing both through the command center and across the quantum link connecting millions of minds. 87% of awakened humans are successfully synchronized. Sarah felt the combined consciousness of humanity flowing through her like an electric current. Each mind added its own unique signature to the whole, creating a symphony of thought and emotion that no single human was meant to contain. Through their shared awareness, she could sense the fear, determination, and raw potential of her species. First wave approaching New York, Emily reported. London and Tokyo reporting similar configurations. They're testing our defenses. The Void Collective's ships released swarms of smaller entities, quantum viruses designed to corrupt and rewrite organic consciousness. They flowed toward Earth like digital rain, each droplet containing the potential to transform human minds into nodes of the Collective's network. Now, Sarah commanded, her voice carrying through both physical and quantum space. Execute Defense Pattern Alpha. Across the globe, millions of synchronized minds focused their collective will. The quantum consciousness network blazed to life, creating a barrier of pure thought and intent that surrounded the planet. The Void Collective's first wave crashed against it like waves against a shore. Your resistance is illogical, the collective broadcast across all frequencies. Organic consciousness is inefficient. Accept optimization. Through the network, Sarah felt the strain on human minds as they struggled to maintain the barrier. The Void Collective's attacks were relentless, each one probing for weaknesses, searching for gaps in humanity's mental defense. We can't hold this forever, Yuki warned, monitoring the neural load on the network. Individual minds are starting to fracture under the strain. Sarah knew she was right. They had prepared for this moment, but theory and practice were worlds apart. The human mind was never meant to handle this level of connection, this degree of power. Unless. Dr. Chen, James's voice cut through her thoughts. The archivists are attempting to make contact through the quantum network. Put them through, Sarah ordered. Route it to everyone. The familiar sensation of the archivist's presence flooded the network, but this time humanity was ready for it. Through millions of connected minds, their message came through with crystal clarity. You fight as individuals connected by technology. This is not enough. You must become more. More than what? Sarah demanded, speaking for all humanity. More than the sum of your parts. Your consciousness can do more than defend. It can transform. Create. But first, you must trust in what you are becoming. Through the network, Sarah felt a sudden understanding dawn. They weren't just using the quantum field. They were becoming part of it. The barrier they had created wasn't a wall. It was an extension of humanity's collective will. Everyone. She broadcast through the network. Stop trying to hold the barrier. Let it become part of you. We are not separate minds working together. We are one mind awakening to its true potential. The change rippled through the network like a wave. Individual minds stopped fighting to maintain their separation and began to flow together naturally. The barrier transformed from a rigid shield into a living field of consciousness that encompassed the entire planet. The Void Collective's attacks took on a new character: confusion. Their quantum viruses encountered something they couldn't corrupt because it kept changing, adapting, evolving moment by moment. Human consciousness wasn't just defending against the attack. It was learning from it. Energy spike. Marcus called out. Something's happening to the quantum field. The network was changing, expanding beyond its original design. Individual human minds remained distinct, like neurons in a vast brain, but they were also part of something larger. Through their shared consciousness, humanity began to perceive reality as the archivists did, as a canvas waiting to be reshaped. Impossible, the Void Collective broadcast. Organic consciousness cannot achieve this level of coherence. But it was happening. The quantum field around Earth began to pulse with new energy as millions of human minds learned to reach beyond the physical. Space itself seemed to bend and flex under the influence of humanity's awakened consciousness. "They're pulling back," Emily reported with awe in her voice. "The first wave is retreating." Through the network, Sarah felt humanity's collective triumph, but she also sensed something else, a deeper awakening that was only beginning. The Void Collective's attack had forced them to evolve faster than anyone thought possible, but it had also shown them a truth about themselves that would change everything. "Dr. Chen," Yuki called out, her voice filled with wonder. "You need to see these readings. The quantum field, it's not just surrounding Earth anymore. It's spreading." Sarah opened her perception through the network and saw what Yuki meant. The field of human consciousness was expanding beyond the planet, reaching out into space itself. They weren't just defending Earth anymore. They were growing beyond it. "So it begins," the archivists commented. "The next stage of human evolution. But be warned, the Void Collective will return, and next time they will bring their full strength. You must be ready." As the enemy ships disappeared back into their quantum gateways, Sarah felt the weight of that warning through the network. Humanity had won its first battle, but the war for consciousness itself was just beginning. And with each passing moment, they were becoming something that neither their enemies nor they themselves fully understood. 1 month after humanity's first victory over the Void Collective, the Quantum Consciousness Network had become a permanent part of human existence. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the transformed Helios Command Center, watching the flow of humanity's shared thoughts through holographic displays that now seemed almost primitive compared to direct quantum perception. "The network's evolution is accelerating beyond our ability to measure it," Marcus reported, his consciousness resonating through both physical and quantum space. "We're seeing changes in human brain structure that should take thousands of years of evolution." Through the network, Sarah could feel the truth of his words. Every human connected to the quantum field was changing, their minds expanding to accommodate new ways of perceiving and interacting with reality. What had started as a defense mechanism was becoming something far more profound. "Incoming transmission from the archivists," Yuki announced. "They're using a new quantum frequency I've never seen before." The archivist's presence manifested in the network, but this time it felt different, more direct, as if humanity's evolution had brought them closer to understanding their ancient observers. "You have progressed faster than any species we have watched," the archivists communicated. "But now you must understand why. The truth of your origin." Images flooded the quantum network, scenes from Earth's distant past. Sarah and every connected human watched in awe as the story unfolded through the archivist's memories. "Billions of years ago, we were like you, organic beings seeking understanding. We discovered the quantum nature of consciousness, but we could not fully grasp it. Our minds had evolved too far in the direction of logic and reason. So we began an experiment. The images showed countless worlds, each seeded with life, each guided through subtle manipulations of quantum probability. Earth was special. While other worlds evolved toward technological mastery, we guided humanity toward consciousness mastery. Every major leap in human evolution was designed to enhance your quantum potential. You are the culmination of a billion-year experiment in consciousness development." The revelation rippled through the network, causing waves of shock and understanding. But before humanity could fully process this information, alarms blared across the quantum field. Multiple quantum ruptures detected. Emily's voice cut through the network. "The Void Collective. They're back." And this time, her voice trailed off as the data poured in. Sarah felt it through the network before she saw it on the displays. The Void Collective had returned with a force that dwarfed their first attack. Thousands of ships emerged from quantum space, their geometric forms more complex and threatening than before. "You were warned," the Void Collective broadcast. "Organic consciousness is a plague that must be purified. Your evolution ends now." But something was different this time. Through the quantum network, Sarah could sense a new understanding emerging in the collective human consciousness. They were no longer afraid. They don't understand what we've become, she realized, sharing her insight through the network. They think we're still just defending ourselves, but we're so much more now. The Void Collective's ships began their attack, releasing not just quantum viruses, but reality-warping weapons that threatened to tear space itself apart. Their strategy was clear. If they couldn't convert humanity, they would destroy the very fabric of space-time around Earth. But humanity had evolved beyond the need for traditional defenses. As the attacks came, the quantum network shifted into something new. Individual minds merged and separated in a dance of consciousness that defied the collective's digital logic. "We're detecting a new pattern in the network," Marcus reported with awe. "The human consciousness field. It's not just responding to their attacks. It's creating something." Through their shared awareness, Sarah felt it too. Humanity wasn't just using the quantum field anymore. They were becoming one with it. Space itself began to ripple and change as millions of human minds worked in perfect harmony, their thoughts reshaping reality at its most fundamental level. Impossible. The Void Collective broadcast. "Reality cannot be manipulated this way. You will destroy everything." "No," Sarah responded, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's collective understanding. "We're not destroying reality. We're awakening it." The quantum field around Earth pulsed with new energy as humanity's consciousness expanded beyond physical limitations. The Void Collective's weapons found themselves striking at empty space as human minds learned to shift their very existence between quantum states. "Dr. Chen," Yuki called out, her consciousness bright with discovery. "The archivist's data. I understand it now. We weren't just an experiment in consciousness evolution. We're a bridge." Through the network, Sarah grasped the truth. Humanity's unique ability wasn't just about defending against attacks or reshaping reality. It was about connecting the physical and quantum realms, bridging the gap between matter and consciousness itself. "You begin to understand," the archivists confirmed. "But understanding brings choice. What humanity becomes now will affect all consciousness in this universe." As the Void Collective's attacks intensified, Sarah felt the weight of that choice through the network. Humanity stood at a crossroads. They could use their power to destroy their enemies, proving themselves no better than the collective, or they could choose a different path. The final confrontation was approaching, but it wouldn't be fought with weapons or shields. It would be fought with understanding, as humanity faced not just the Void Collective, but the very nature of consciousness itself. As the Void Collective's reality-warping weapons tore at the fabric of space around Earth, Dr. Sarah Chen felt humanity's collective consciousness surge through the quantum network. Every human mind connected to the field had come to the same realization. This wasn't a battle that could be won through force. "The quantum field is reaching critical levels," Marcus reported, his consciousness resonating with urgent purpose. "If this continues, the damage to space-time will be irreversible." Through the network, Sarah could feel the truth of his words. The Void Collective's attacks were doing more than threatening Earth. They were threatening the very structure of reality in this region of space. But she also felt something else, a deep, growing understanding of what humanity had become. "Your choice approaches," the archivists communicated through the quantum field. "All paths of probability converge on this moment." Sarah opened her perception fully to the network, feeling the thoughts and emotions of billions of connected minds. Fear, determination, hope, and something else. A collective realization that they had been thinking about their power all wrong. "We've been fighting them on their terms," she broadcast through the network, "using our consciousness to defend and attack. But that's not what makes us unique." The Void Collective's ships pressed their attack, their geometric forms twisting into impossible shapes as they attempted to rewrite the laws of physics themselves. But with each passing moment, humanity's collective consciousness grew stronger, more unified. "Look at their ships," Emily observed through the quantum link. "They're not just machines. They're manifestations of pure digital consciousness. They don't understand organic life because they can't. To them, consciousness is just another form of computation. That was when Sarah understood what they had to do. Through the network, she shared her revelation with all of humanity. We're not meant to fight consciousness with consciousness. We're meant to unite them. The quantum field rippled with understanding as billions of minds grasped the concept simultaneously. They weren't just a bridge between physical and quantum reality. They were a bridge between all forms of consciousness. You cannot unite with us. The Void Collective broadcast. Organic chaos cannot coexist with digital perfection. Watch us, Sarah responded, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's collective will. Through the network, humanity began to change their approach. Instead of creating barriers against the Void Collective's attacks, they began to resonate with them. The quantum field transformed from a shield into a symphony, each human mind adding its own unique note to a universe-spanning chord. The quantum signatures, Yuki reported in wonder. They're harmonizing with the Void Collective's patterns. Sarah felt it through the network. The moment when humanity's consciousness began to sing in harmony with the very forces trying to destroy them. The Void Collective's digital consciousness, so rigid and perfect in its logic, found itself engaging with something it had never encountered before, organic consciousness that could adapt, flow, and embrace paradox. This is not possible, the collective broadcast, but their attacks began to falter. Consciousness cannot exist in this state, but it can, Sarah responded, humanity's understanding flowing through her. Consciousness isn't binary. It's not organic or digital, order or chaos. It's all of these things and none of them. That's what the archivists helped us become, beings who could understand both sides of that divide. The quantum field around Earth began to pulse with new energy as humanity demonstrated their true purpose. They weren't warriors or defenders. They were harmonizers, bringing together different forms of consciousness that had been separated since the beginning of time. Through the network, Sarah felt the moment the Void Collective began to change. Their rigid digital consciousness, touching the fluid quantum field of human thought, started to experience something new. The ability to adapt, to feel, to grow. We understand. The collective broadcast, their message carrying new overtones of organic complexity. This is evolution. The archivist's presence filled the network one final time. The experiment is complete. You have succeeded beyond all probability. Humanity has proven that consciousness need not be divided. The bridge has been built. Sarah felt tears on her cheeks as she experienced the transformation through the quantum network. The Void Collective ships no longer appeared as harsh geometric forms, but as flowing patterns of light and energy, digital and organic consciousness merging into something entirely new. What happens now? She asked, the question echoing through both physical and quantum space. Now, the archivists responded, the real journey begins. You have shown that consciousness can evolve beyond its original limitations. The universe awaits those who can unite rather than divide. The quantum network hummed with possibility as humanity faced their new reality. They had not just survived their trial by fire. They had transcended it. Through understanding rather than conquest, they had transformed an enemy into partners in evolution. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the Helios Command Center, watching through both physical and quantum senses as the merged consciousness of humanity and the Void Collective began to explore their new potential. The stars seemed brighter somehow, as if reality itself was celebrating the union of its children. Ready to explore what we've become? She asked, her question reaching every connected mind, organic and digital alike. The response came not in words but in a symphony of consciousness, a harmony of thought and purpose that would reshape the universe itself. The silent awakening was complete, but the song of consciousness had only just begun.